Are you struggling to stay happy? Have you ever wondered why happiness always seems to slip away, no matter how hard we try to grab it? Picture this. You wake up each day feeling like you're missing something, even though you have everything you ever wished for. This struggle to find happiness isn't new. People have been puzzling over it for thousands of years. Today, we're going to dig deep into why chasing things like money, fame, and thrills might not really make us happy in the long run. Instead, we'll look at how old wisdom, especially from Stoic philosophy, can teach us to find real joy in a world that keeps tempting us with the next big thing. If you've ever felt that nagging sense that no amount of success or shopping can soothe, you're in the perfect place to learn why and how to truly feel content. If you like what we're talking about, could you do me a small favor? Just hit the subscribe button and make sure to watch the whole video. If you're here looking for deeper answers, you're already special, and every part of this discussion matters. We usually think of happiness as a feeling of continuous joy and fulfillment that comes from reaching our goals or getting new things. But how many times have we hit a big goal only to realize that the happiness it brought was short-lived, soon replaced by a new craving or a feeling of emptiness? This isn't just something we experience today. It's a topic that philosophers, especially the Stoics, have explored for hundreds of years. They really made us question what actually brings true happiness. Consider how many of us chase career success. We put in endless hours, often at the expense of family time and our health, all because we believe that success and recognition will make us happy. Yet, when we finally get to the top, the joy we expected might turn into stress or even burnout. Why does this happen? Stoic philosophy suggests it's because we base our happiness on things outside our control, things that are unpredictable and unreliable. The Stoics argued that real happiness doesn't come from what we achieve or own, but from developing inner strength and goodness. They taught that by working on our personal character and how we react to situations, we can find a deeper, more enduring joy. This doesn't mean Stoics were against enjoying life or succeeding. They just believed we shouldn't rely on these external factors for our happiness. This insight becomes even clearer when we think about our relationships. We usually hope that our friends, partners, or family will always make us happy and support us. However, all relationships go through good times and bad times. Misunderstandings and disagreements are bound to happen, and they can transform what we thought was a major source of joy into a cause of stress. Here too, Stoicism offers a helpful perspective. Although we can't control how others act or feel, we can manage our own responses and adjust our expectations. Even our fun activities, like vacations, which we plan carefully to get away from daily stress, can surprisingly become stressful themselves. How many times have we dealt with the annoyance of cancelled flights, poor weather, or just not feeling as relaxed as we hoped? Once again, the Stoic way of thinking suggests that we should concentrate on what's going on inside us rather than what's happening around us. Stoicism teaches us that preparing ourselves mentally and emotionally to deal with unexpected problems can greatly affect whether we feel happy or upset. Looking at these examples, it's obvious that our distress often comes right after happiness, not because there's something wrong with our lives or because we haven't achieved our goals, but because we expect never-ending happiness from things outside ourselves, which isn't realistic. Stoic philosophy urges us to find stability and peace within ourselves, teaching us that our happiness doesn't depend on our achievements or setbacks, but on how well we keep calm and virtuous despite life's constant changes. Changing our viewpoint in this way might be what we need to turn our moments of distress into chances for personal growth and greater fulfillment. It's natural for us to chase after things that make us feel good and avoid those that cause discomfort. But what if I said that this very tendency, though it seems helpful, often sets a trap for us? A trap where the more we pursue pleasure, the harder it is to catch. It's like trying to reach the horizon. No matter how fast you run, it's always out of grasp. This isn't a new thought. Ancient Stoic philosophers talked a lot about this. They cautioned us against putting our happiness in the hands of temporary pleasures. According to Stoicism, real happiness doesn't come from external things like money, success, or enjoying the senses. These things can disappear, right? Instead, true happiness is found in something much more reliable and under your control: your own good actions and inner strength. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus focused more on developing good character and maintaining peace within themselves than on chasing pleasure. They believed that controlling our reactions to the world around us leads to genuine happiness. For instance, Marcus Aurelius once mentioned, "The joy you experience in life is greatly influenced by the nature of your thoughts." This quote highlights the Stoic belief that our inner thoughts, rather than what's happening around us, really determine our happiness. Picture yourself at a grand buffet filled with all your favorite foods. Your first instinct might be to dive in and enjoy, right? However, if we act on every urge to eat whatever catches our eye, we quickly encounter the downsides: discomfort and possibly even health problems. The Stoics compared this to other pleasures in life. Giving in to temptation can bring brief joy, but it often results in long-term issues, if not handled with care. This is where the idea of moderation becomes important, a central value for the Stoics. Now, let's look at something modern like social media. It's designed to be fun, giving you quick boosts of happiness with likes, shares, and comments. Yet, as many of us have experienced, spending too much time on social media can lead to anxiety and unhappiness. We begin to compare ourselves with others, and what used to be fun becomes a cause of stress. Here again, the Stoics would remind us that we've let external things, digital thumbs up, and pixelated hearts control our happiness. Now, why does recognizing this trap matter? Because knowing about it is the first step to getting out of it. Stoicism encourages us to become more self-aware and to manage our desires better. By acknowledging that pleasure is temporary, we can begin to separate our happiness from it. We can still enjoy things, of course, but we learn not to rely on them for our happiness. Instead, we find joy in the process and in the present moment, rather than just in the results. Stoicism isn't about limiting ourselves without reason. It encourages us to channel our efforts towards things that genuinely enrich our lives, like relationships, personal development, and contributing to our community. These sources of fulfillment are not only more lasting, but are also largely within our control. They are less likely to lead us into the endless cycle of wanting more and never feeling satisfied. It's important to be aware of the pitfalls of chasing pleasure. It's about balancing our desire for pleasure with wisdom and moderation. By grounding our lives in Stoic principles, we can steer through our sea of desires without losing our way in the pursuit of temporary pleasures, finding instead a deeper, more meaningful happiness. It's really interesting how frequently we think that achieving certain goals or acquiring specific things will make us permanently happy. We often say to ourselves, if I could just get that new car, that promotion at work, or that house, then I would be truly happy. But how often does this actually happen? Time after time, we discover that the happiness these things provide is temporary, and quickly our attention shifts to the next big thing. This ongoing cycle of high hopes followed by letdowns is a perfect illustration of what psychologists call unreliable happiness. The idea of unreliable happiness has been around for a while. Stoic philosophers such as Seneca and Epictetus have always warned against depending on external situations for our happiness. Seneca once said, "If you seek peace, do less, or more precisely, do what's essential, what the logos of a social being requires, and in the right way, which brings a double satisfaction, to do less, better." This perspective is deep because it moves our attention from how much we do or own to the quality of our actions and how well they match our true selves. Epictetus stressed the significance of concentrating on what we can control and releasing what we cannot. He notably stated, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This remark underscores the Stoic view that it is our responses to external events, not the events themselves, that shape our happiness. This understanding is key to realizing why happiness is so unreliable when it depends on external circumstances that are inherently unpredictable and frequently out of our control. This idea is also seen in modern psychology, such as in the hedonic treadmill theory. This theory suggests that people usually go back to a normal level of happiness, no matter what big changes happen in their lives, whether it's getting a promotion, buying something new, or even experiencing a big loss. Our feelings tend to stabilize after the initial reaction wears off. This ability to recover has its ups and downs. It helps us get over tough times, but it also means that the happiness we get from new things or achievements doesn't last very long. The Stoics suggest an escape from this cycle by promoting a life centered on virtue and internal fulfillment rather than external achievements and possessions. They encourage us to develop traits such as resilience, moderation, and bravery, which can support us through life's fluctuations. This perspective on happiness is dependable because it is based on our own actions and attitudes, which we can control, rather than on the unpredictable nature of fate or market forces. Moreover, adopting a Stoic viewpoint means viewing every experience, whether positive or negative, as a chance to practice these virtues. For instance, a challenge at work can become an opportunity to demonstrate patience and resilience, while a financial bonus can test our ability to handle success with humility and wisdom. In a society that often links happiness to material gain and sensory enjoyment, Stoicism presents a powerful alternative. Find satisfaction in your own character and deeds. By doing this, we can attain a type of happiness that is not only more lasting, but also deeper, because it isn't at the mercy of external conditions. This happiness isn't just more stable, it's also more rewarding because it resonates with the deepest truths about living a meaningful life. When we consider pleasure, it's easy to be drawn to instant gratification, the quick fix. However, as we've observed, these quick pleasures are often short-lived and can leave us feeling unsatisfied or wanting more. This is where Stoic wisdom proves valuable. The Stoics instruct us that pleasures vary in quality and that consciously choosing the pleasures we engage in can result in deeper and more enduring satisfaction. First, let's look at the different types of pleasures available to us. There are sensory pleasures, like enjoying a delicious meal or relishing a warm, sunny day. Then, there are deeper, more intellectual pleasures, such as reading an engaging book or having a meaningful conversation. The Stoics didn't outright reject pleasure. Instead, they encouraged us to focus on those pleasures that foster our personal growth and are in line with our values. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, recommended moderation and caution with pleasure, ensuring it doesn't control our actions. When selecting pleasures, it's crucial to consider, does this pleasure enhance my well-being? Will it have a lasting positive impact, or is it merely a fleeting enjoyment? Pleasures that match our personal development and long-term aspirations are generally more satisfying. For instance, the joy you get from finishing a tough workout goes beyond just the rush of endorphins. It's also about the awareness that you're benefiting your health and strengthening your resilience. But how do we choose these beneficial pleasures? It starts with self-awareness. Recognizing what genuinely brings us happiness, apart from social pressures or shallow wants, is key. Stoicism offers valuable guidance here. By concentrating on our internal lives and developing virtues like wisdom and self-discipline, we can more effectively manage the realm of pleasure. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wrote in depth about the importance of aligning pleasure with our natural tendencies, meaning recognizing what is inherently beneficial for us as rational and social beings and acting on it. Moreover, wisely choosing pleasures also involves being aware of the possible consequences of our choices. Every decision to indulge in a pleasure can lead to outcomes, some more significant than others. For example, spending too much time on leisure activities might take away from time that could be better spent on more rewarding or essential tasks. Here, the Stoic practice of reflection proves useful. Reflecting on our daily choices and the reasons behind them can enhance our understanding of our motivations and better equip us for making decisions in the future. In our quest for pleasure, it's also important to think about how our choices affect others. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of community and how our actions are interconnected. Opting for pleasures that also benefit others, or at least do not harm them, is a way to improve our own lives and contribute to the common good. The art of choosing pleasure is about finding balance. It's about understanding that while pleasure is a natural and significant part of life, it shouldn't be our only focus. By incorporating Stoic principles into our decision-making, we can seek out pleasures that are not just enjoyable, but also enriching. In doing so, we cultivate a life that is not only filled with pleasure, but also meaningful and virtuous, embodying the best of what it means to be human. Have you ever noticed how sometimes we wait for weekends or vacations to feel truly happy? We count the days until we can escape our routines, but Stoicism invites us to find joy every single day, not just during special times. This ancient philosophy teaches us that happiness isn't something that comes from outside events like a holiday or a party. It's something we create inside ourselves by choosing to be content with what we have right now. Think about this. Each morning, you have a new chance to decide how your day will go. Will you let traffic, a spilled coffee, or a rainy day ruin your mood? Or will you choose to find little moments of joy despite these setbacks? The Stoics would say that these daily challenges are opportunities to practice being calm and content, no matter what life throws at us. And let's dive a little deeper into the idea of wanting things. We often believe that if we just had that new gadget, a bigger house, or the latest fashion, we'd be happy. But Stoicism helps us see that this kind of happiness is like a bubble. It pops very quickly. True joy comes from appreciating what you already have and focusing on being a good person. This means being kind, honest, and brave, even when it's hard. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us about the power of now. enjoying the present moment. Instead of worrying about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, we can choose to live in the moment and truly experience it. This could be as simple as really tasting your food, listening to a friend without thinking about your to-do list, or feeling the sun on your face during a short walk. In embracing these teachings, we start to see that happiness isn't a far-off goal to be chased, but a choice we make every day. It's not about having everything perfect, but about finding perfection in everything we already have. This shift in mindset can turn our everyday experiences into a series of moments filled with joy. As we move forward, keep in mind, real happiness comes from looking inside, not from chasing things outside. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this discussion meaningful, I encourage you to watch one of the recommended videos on your screen to explore more about Stoic wisdom. Thank you for being a part of this reflective community. Until we meet again, remember to search within.